Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and welcome to day 23 of our 100-day countdown to the best version of ourselves in the new year. Raise your hand if you poisoned yourself. That would be me. Oh my gosh, people. I'm not even going to say what at the risk of provoking someone, but honestly, really, I know I'm failing by falling forward, but it's such a bummer. It's just a bummer. And I'm not quite sure why. Sometimes I don't even want to ponder the why. I just want to get on with wellness. But it is worth reflecting on a little bit. So actually, what I was going to talk about, I called this reality check. So maybe that's part of my reality check. I'm not sure. Let me just say, first of all, I don't think I told you I'm married to Santa Claus. Maybe you wouldn't be surprised that my life is so magical that I'd be married to Santa Claus. But this is a picture of me and Santa from today, aka my husband. But he's a real Santa. Like, he's Santa all year. And he, look, you'll just see. That's the two of us today volunteering at a skilled nursing facility. And you can just tell we love each other, right? We're so in love. Yeah, we're super in love and super cute. And we have a long story, which I'll have to share sometime because it's pretty amazing. But anyway, I was going to say what my reality check was. I have to tell the story. He can't stand it when I tell this story, but I have to tell it. Okay, so check it. I was 20 years old, and I was a wannabe nun. I was hoping to become a nun in a community. And then I met him when I was 21 as a friend, as a favor to a friend. So I met him when I was 21. He fell in love with me, literally. The first day, we spent 16 hours together at Disneyland. He totally fell in love with me. By the end of the day, he wanted to marry me. And I was like, yes, so no. I'm totally committed to God. I have no intention of being in a relationship with you. So we hung out for a whole year. And we totally got to know each other. He was an amazing listener. He totally grew in his faith. He was fantastic. And after a year, he was like, you know what? I can't compete with God. I'm out of here. And he was. And he literally disappeared. Well, the community I wanted didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. Next thing I know, I just told the Lord that I was going to either live a single life, or if Dale ever came back, I would want to marry him. And that was it. So 6.5 years later, still single, just living my life, his brother comes, because when he left, he disappeared from everybody. His brother comes and he says, you know what, I'm afraid that my brother committed suicide. There's somebody who jumped off Anaheim at the Pier, which was a hotel across from Disneyland at the time, wearing a Las Vegas t-shirt, which is where Dale was from largely, and had taken like a Greyhound bus to Anaheim. So he's like, I'm afraid it's my brother. He was in the Orange County Times. He looks just like my brother. Will you go with me to the morgue? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go with you to the morgue because one, if he's dead, I need closure. And two, if he's not, I'm going to kill him myself. I was so upset that he just left the world. So we go to the morgue. We're looking at the pictures. The brother's crying his head off. Certain that is him. Even this guy fell 14 floors. I could tell something was wrong in his cheekbones that just wasn't Dale. The eyes were the same. The age was the same. The hair was the same. Everything about him was him, except for his cheekbones. And so I said, you know what, it's not him. His brother was crying and crying. I said, I just know it's not him. So his brother hired a private detective, and 6 months later, he found him, living in Louisiana and working in Texas. I'm afraid he's going to hear me. Because he hates that I tell people that I was looking for him at the morgue. Because he's like, that's just so wrong. You know what? It's part of the gig, okay? So finally, the private detective gave his brother the phone number. The brother was too angry to even call. And the brother said, do you want the phone number? And I said, absolutely. So I just called and said, hi, if you know who this is, call me back. Well, he totally knew. He called me right back. We both said we're still in love with each other. So for the next year and a half, we talked on the phone. I'm not kidding you. And it was before discounts, man. It was $800 a month. But we talked for like a year and a half, and finally we arranged to meet in Vegas. And so we met in Vegas on January 9th, which was my baptismal day. And I won't go into detail from there, but we totally met each other. He moved out 3 months later, and after a series of classes and various things, we were married. And so we've just been married over 20 years. But that was, 32 years ago that we first met. So anyway, he's evolved into Santa Claus over time. But after the first 6 weeks of marriage, we went on the newlywed game and went a second honeymoon to Oaxaca, Mexico. Like everything we've done, it has not been easy at all, at all. I mean, we lost his mother, we lost my father, we lost my brother. He was a truck driver, he became a nurse, now he wants to be a truck driver again. I mean, there's been a ton of things, injury after injury. I mean, so many things, but it doesn't matter because it's been such a fantastic walk. Like the growth in faith, learning to trust, it's just been an amazing walk and may continue for much, much longer. Okay, so anyway, he grew into Santa Claus. His mother loved Santa, and as a tribute to his mother, he just evolved into Santa Claus. And my father lived for Christmas too. So it's so cool that that's part of our life. But that is not what I was going to tell you. It's already at like the 6.5 minute mark. So what I was going to say about the reality check was this. We went to a skilled nursing facility today to, let him be Santa Claus. He volunteers, and I'm his little helper. And it was so, to see people in such horrific conditions, that their bodies have totally broken down, that their minds aren't working anymore, that family doesn't even visit them anymore. I don't know if I felt so threatened by that I chose to eat wrong. You would think it would drive me in the direction of wellness, but for some reason, things like that make me slip. I just fall back. I don't know if it's in fear that I can't stay well, if it's in fear that it's too much. I don't know what it is, but that was my reality. Luckily I didn't binge my head off, but I just absolutely ate wrong. And I thought, what in the world? You were just having this reality check that if you don't take care of yourself, you could be in that situation. I mean, a minute ago, your kidneys could have taken you down, and you're choosing to eat wrong? Oh, well, whatever. I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to pray about it and rejoice that tomorrow I have all my food prepared and it's another day. There's so much to be grateful for, but call me human. And again, human's a tremendous blessing. I get that. But it is short of God. So I can at least say that. Maybe I was overtired. I chose to teach Saturday school. Then we drove 150 miles to be Santa Claus, 150 back. I sound exhausted. There could have been a lot of reasons, but whatever the case is, every bite is a fresh start. And I was so saddened for those people because you could just see their inner child. You can just see the freshness of small parts of beauty and youth that they were. And some of them are just 10 years older than I am, or maybe 15 years older. And it's just so hard. And then we went and visited another friend, and I saw them and was like, oh my gosh. I don't know. I guess I was so threatened by all of the lack of wellness that I chose not to eat right. What? I don't know. Can I just accept, okay, let's go back to halt. Hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. I was extremely tired. And I had fasted till noon. And then I only had a couple of oranges. So that by the time we chose dinner, I chose wrong. So I would say I was hungry and tired. Kind of lonely in my soul and feeling so threatened by the detriment of the human population right now. How about that? All right, that's my truth. If you made it to the end of the video, give me some feedback, peeps. Oh my gosh, I need some help here. Otherwise, like if you like, add comments if you want, join us if you haven't. And I'm going to bed. And I'm going to say peace be with you and ask that you say a prayer for me if you're a prayer person. I only want to be able to see the good, but I was so surrounded by sickness and challenges that I just lost it. All right. Tomorrow's another day, another hopeful, lovely day. All right, until then, I'm going to sit with this a little bit. Peace be with you, and be blessed. And may I be blessed.